Hello, I'm Sylvie Varcoe, Head of News here at UBTV, and over the past 6 months, the American political landscape has witnessed a series of dramatic developments leading up to the presidential election. What began as a traditional election cycle has quickly evolved into one of the most divisive and unpredictable races in history.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating...
The two candidates, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, both present us with starkly different visions for the future of the United States. Both endlessly disagreeing on a multitude of issues, it seems that the sole opinion uniting both parties is that they hate each other.
Have you heard her laugh? That is the laugh of a crazy person. That is the laugh of a crazy... It's the laugh of a lunatic.
Like many others, UBTV has closely been following the election and its updates as the race draws to the end.
Now, back in front, a 4-point lead.
With the American polls being so close, today we'll be asking Bristol University students what their opinion is on the battle between Trump and Harris for their seat in the White House.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Tilda.
Perfect. Do you think it should be legal for a convicted felon to run for president?
Definitely not.
No, absolutely not. I think that's a terrible idea.
Probably not.
But do you think maybe there should be some leeway for some people that say that, people can make mistakes in their life and...
Well, yeah, people can make mistakes, but hasn't he got 30 convictions or something?
Guilty on all 34 counts.
There's a mistake and then there's doing it multiple times.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true there, Vaughan. Thank you very much.
That's a difficult one, really. I don't think he should be able to run for office. I think there's criminal. I think there's a difference between a parking ticket and the things that he has allegedly done.
Yeah. So it's more about the type of offence that they're committing.
So in the arts complex, I've actually found the Vice President of UBTV, Eve Mintoft. So she's agreed to do this interview with us. What about Donald Trump is appealing to voters, Eve?
Thank you. I think what would appeal to Donald Trump to voters, especially sort of in this day and age, is the idea that when people aren't happy with their lives and when things aren't working out for them, the typical thing that groups of people will do, especially if they're slightly more uneducated, will go to an extreme perspective if they're unhappy with the way the government works.
It is very difficult to say. I don't think anyone knows precisely. I think people are just feel unmoored, by changes in the media, social landscape, and looking for easy reference points. That's the best I think.
I think it's very fair to say. Thank you so much.
I think what does appeal about Trump is that he's not a politician, he's a businessman, and he's proposing to take things quite radically in a different direction. I think when people are unhappy and have been for a while, they want to go to the more extreme direction because they think it's going to make them happy even if it won't.
Okay.
I think people think he did really well for during COVID, and they saw that inflation was not that bad under him, and then under Biden they were oh look, it's so much worse.
This is inflation. This is TikTok. This is TikTok. This is inflation. This is what's happened.
The people that like Donald Trump is kind of akin to UKIP here, where it's kind of they don't know exactly what policies they support, but they like the general Republican image, I think.
Okay. Ready? Hiya, so who am I here with?
Michael.
Lovely to meet you, Michael. Right, so, do you believe this election will be influenced more by candidates' policies or their personal images?
I think, in America it seems to be quite heavily influenced by people's opinion on their personalities.
The personal image, I'd say.
So more personality, you would think?
Yes.
So if you see the difference between Trump and between Biden and Harris, obviously there was a lot of distrust of Biden because Sleepy Joe and everything.
Yeah. In the case of one candidate, I can't really see any coherent strategy. So I wonder.
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
Who would possibly vote apart from considering image?
Okay. And when I say the name Donald Trump, what comes to mind?
Fuck, no.
Okay. In a non-explicit.
Cunt.
Perfect.
Orange.
Yeah.
Terrifying, predatory criminal.
Ooh, extreme right, kind of American politics, just a lot of shit.
Nice. And when I say Kamala Harris, what comes to mind?
Vice President of the USA. It's about where my knowledge extends of Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't know much.
That's fair enough. I mean, it is quite telling that I think we know more about Donald Trump, but with Kamala Harris, there is less for us to talk about. But thank you so much, guys.
Okay, hi. Who am I here with?
Emma.
And I believe you were born in the United States?
Yes, I was.
Do you have something with you right now?
I do. This is my ballot.
Okay, so if you could ask Donald Trump one question, what would it be?
I think I'd ask him where his fake tan's from.
That's such a hard question. I would just say, like, why are you the way that you are? Fair enough. I think lots of people are wondering that.
Yeah. I heard Molly May has like a spray tan.
Or skinny tan from Boots.
Yeah.
How do you keep it going at his age, you know?
I don't know. I think a lot of the time I like to think, does he actually believe half the things he's claiming? How much of that is him kind of just trying to be a bit populist and appeal to his wider conservative base, or how much of it is his actual beliefs? But then again, you could ask that to any politician ever, really, so.
Nice. Really interesting.
Is he on the bags? Probably.
Well, probably.
Probably.
And the fake tan.
And the fake tan, you know, the hair dye, everything.
Okay.
And do you think the assassination attempts have swayed the votes in any way? Do you think people have got like more sympathy for him?
I think the assassination attempts, I think they were pretty good for his campaign, because I do think people felt more sympathetic for him.
Potentially.
I think definitely.
I think it probably was, because everyone, well, not everyone, but Trump supporters like, he's a martyr, like he did this for us.
And straight after the attacks, the polls for him just went straight up, and all his supporters were wearing the bandages on their ears. I feel like it made his supporters more loyal to him because they felt sympathy for him.
I think it creates this sort of idea of near martyrdom, and it proposes this idea of, you know, Donald Trump, the man who will die for America.
I took a bullet for democracy.
And I think that was whether, you know, I think it's done a lot for him, weirdly.
Sounds pretty good, the man who will die for America, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, it's done a lot for him, so I don't know whether that was lucky for him.
How do you think the US's standing in the world might change depending on the outcome of this election?
Well, I think it's really clear that if Trump wins, then they'll kind of fall off the face of people's respect, like geopolitically.
If Donald Trump gets into power, America's position in environmental problems is going to be really worrying.
And I think Kamala would mean that they gain a bit more respect. Honestly, I think it's about respect and whether people think that Americans are bonkers or not.
Well, Kamala Harris, I don't know. I don't think much will change, to be honest, but I mean, that's kind of better than...
Why do you think that Donald Trump might still be popular despite all of the things that he has allegedly done?
I think at a certain point, people just kind of glaze over those kind of things. I think I've seen so many interview clips of like kind of typically Southern Americans just ignoring anything and everything.
Is it fair though to call the MAGA movement inherently an unserious movement?
I mean, I don't think so.
Do you think the discourse has gotten too ridiculous?
I think so.
Yeah.
Their idea in their head is just Trump is the only way, and at a certain point, how are you going to beat that, I suppose? How are you going to kind of get out of them? He could do whatever, and they're still voting for him. At the end of the day, that's just what they're built to do, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't want to hate the Southerners, but it's kind of crazy.
People are fucking stupid. People are really stupid. Yeah. And also just like the media in America, I think, has a lot to do with that.
What key issues do you believe will decide the 2024 US election?
Definitely abortion.
Abortion law. Yeah. I think that would be a key issue.
Immigration.
Things like immigration as well, and the social security assurance.
I think Israel and Palestine will have an impact, undoubtedly, but I think at the same time, a lot of Americans that would normally not vote for Kamala Harris over that would kind of just have to. Because at the end of the day, it's still, you have to concede and kind of think Trump is probably worse.
Who do you think is going to win and why?
I think it's probably going to be Trump. Kamala. Well, I hope it is, but I think it will be her.
I'm not sure. Hopefully Kamala.
Kamala, because she is a brat.
Trump's going to win 100%, unfortunately. Like, if Kamala wins, I'll be very surprised. I don't want him to win, but unfortunately, I just think, like, the Democrats are a mess at this point. So.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Is Kamala leading in the polls right now? I think so. So,
I don't know.
I'm going to be optimistic and say Kamala Harris, hopefully.
I unfortunately think Trump will win. Unfortunately, I don't want him to win.
I think Kamala Harris, just though. I think it'll be uncomfortably close.
I'm optimistic. My belief in humanity says Kamala Harris.
I've got no idea. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping Kamala Harris wins, but I feel like, I don't know, I was talking to friends of mine I've got a friend who lives in the States, and I was messaging with her the other day, and she was saying that they've got no idea at all, and it feels really precarious and scary.
Who do you think is going to win?
Hopefully, I mean Kamala.
Kamala, okay, nice.
I actually think it's pointing towards Kamala Harris, which is good.
Kamala, you're so brat here at UBTV. You know, we don't want to be biased, but we genuinely
stands
for brat, and it stands for Kamala Harris B. Pretty interesting that the general consensus here today was either a lack of opinion altogether or basically being pro-Kamala. So it seems that Bristol Uni, the students here, the professors here, seem to be pretty liberal. However, I think maybe the Trump supporters did evade us. Got a lot of people kind of turned their heads and didn't speak to us today. So we'll find you next time.
They're eating the dogs.